All right, let's take a journey deep inside the human body to map out one of its most intricate and honestly brilliant pieces of wiring, the incredible network that powers your entire arm. I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about that? How a simple decision in your brain, like catch that ball, instantly becomes a perfectly timed, coordinated movement? It feels like magic, but it's not. It's actually a masterpiece of biological engineering. And this is the answer, the brachial plexus. Now, at first glance, I know, it looks as complicated as a big city subway map. But you know what? That's the perfect way to think about it. This is the crucial superhighway that connects your spinal cord to every single muscle and patch of skin in your arm. So let's start tracing the routes. So here's our game plan. We're going to break this down, step by step. First, we'll start at the source, right there in your neck. Then we'll follow all the signals as they pass through a central sorting station. After that, we'll see the 5 final branches, the destinations. And finally, we'll map this whole journey onto the physical body to see exactly how it all fits together. Okay, first things first. Where does the superhighway even begin? Well, it all starts in the neck, nestled right up against your spinal column. The whole thing kicks off with 5 nerve roots. Think of them as 5 individual train lines leaving the main station. These roots are actually the front branches, or anterior rami, of 5 specific spinal nerves: C5, C6, C7, C8, and T1. And almost right away, these 5 lines start to merge. The top 2 roots, C5 and C6, they join up to form the superior trunk. C7 is a major player, so it just keeps going on its own as the middle trunk. And the bottom 2, C8 and T1, they come together to form the inferior trunk. And just like that, our 5 local lines have merged into 3 main expressways. All right, now we're heading into the busiest hub of the network, the central sorting station. This is where all the nerve signals that reorganize to make absolutely sure they're heading to the right part of the arm. And this is where the pure genius of the system really shines. Each of those 3 main trunks splits in 2, creating a front or anterior division and a back or posterior division. And the purpose is beautifully simple. All the front divisions carry signals for the muscles that flex your arm, like when you make a bicep curl, and all the back divisions control the muscles that extend it. It's an absolutely brilliant sorting mechanism. So how do these 6 divisions regroup? Well, the flexor signals from the top and middle trunks join forces to form the lateral cord. The flexor signal from the bottom trunk continues on to become the medial cord, and here's the key. All 3 of the extensor signals, one from each trunk, they all bundle together to form one massive posterior cord. Let's see what that looks like on the map. So here's our map so far. We can see the whole flow, right? We start with 5 roots, they merge into 3 trunks, which then split into 6 divisions, and finally they regroup into these 3 main cords. This is the fundamental architecture, getting everything sorted before heading off to the final destinations. And from those 3 cords, we finally arrive at our destinations, the 5 major nerves that are going to actually control everything in the arm and hand. And here they are, the big 5. And you can see that sorting logic we talked about playing out perfectly. The posterior cord, remember, the one that carried all our extensor signals? Well, it gives rise to the axillary nerve for your shoulder and the huge radial nerve for extending the rest of your arm. Meanwhile, the lateral and medial cords are flexor pathways. They team up to form the median and ulnar nerves, which are just absolutely vital for controlling your hand. And it is so worth highlighting just how big a deal that radial nerve is. As the source material points out, it is the largest single branch of the entire network. Think about that. It's in charge of every single muscle on the back of your arm and forearm. So every time you straighten your elbow or lift your wrist, yeah, that's the radial nerve hard at work. So far, we've been looking at the brachial plexus like a neat diagram. But now, let's get real. Let's place this map onto the actual human body and see the physical path it carves out. Anatomically, the whole network is split into 2 zones by your collarbone or clavicle. The roots and trunks, the very beginning of our journey, are found above the clavicle, up in the neck. That's the supraclavicular part. Everything after that, the cords and all the final nerve branches, is located below the clavicle, deep in your armpit or axilla. That's the infraclavicular part. And this journey is not always a wide open road. The whole plexus has to squeeze through a really tight space in the neck, passing between 2 muscles called the scalenes. It's a critical choke point, and it just goes to show how precisely and tightly everything in our body is packed together. Here's another fascinating detail that really grounds our map in reality. Why are the cords called lateral, medial, and posterior? Well, it's not random. It describes their exact position relative to the axillary artery, which is the main blood vessel running through your armpit. The nerves literally wrap themselves around this artery, using it as a central axis. So let's just zoom out for a second. It all starts with 5 simple nerve roots in the neck, but through this incredible, elegant system of splitting and merging, it blossoms into a sophisticated network that provides every command for movement and every bit of sensation to your entire arm, all the way down to your fingertips. It's truly remarkable. It really gets you wondering, doesn't it? If this is the intricate, beautiful map just for one of our limbs, what other hidden superhighways and secret blueprints are wiring the rest of our bodies, just quietly and perfectly doing their job every single second of the day?